Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Stanfield Hunting Outfitters in Knox City, Texas. I am Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver. How you doing, Andy?
Very good. Back in the saddle.
And then I'm fixing to leave the saddle.
Back in the saddle.
So, the news today in the world, and we're going to talk about all kinds of shit today, is traveling.
Yep. You might not be going.
Yeah, we are.
You'll be driving. Maybe.
I would do that if I had to, because I don't have to be home at a certain time. But our partners in crime can't be gone as long as we can. So I think I looked at the flights today. There wasn't as many. Unless you're flying Southwest Airlines right now, there are some crossover problems because the other airlines are getting inundated with customers. But we're flying nonstop, both ways. We'll be all right. But Southwest Airlines, I'm proud of their pilots. Their pilots have basically told Southwest Airlines to stick it up their ass. They're not getting a vaccine. And I'm with them guys. So if it causes some travel problems and people stand up for their rights, it's not that big a deal to me.
Mom will be devastated.
We'll get in a car and go drive if we have to.
Oh.
We'll be all right. That's what I'm saying. If they canceled our flights on Wednesday, we would and said, hey, you're not going to be able to fly till Friday or Monday or whatever it is, then we would leave. We'd get in the car and head north.
Just go away.
I would. But that's a freedom and luxury that we have that a lot of people traveling don't have that.
Well, it sure fucked us over in Miami.
So
we had 3 hours. We landed. We had 3 hours between that flight and our flight home to Dallas, Friday evening. We get there, and I can't remember what the pilot said at first. We're the next gate. Okay? Be about 15 minutes. So we sit there. 30 minutes, he comes on. He says another excuse. I can't even remember what the second excuse was. There's a plane about to leave that's in front of us, and as soon as they leave, here in the next 15 minutes, we're the one. So we wait another 20, 30 minutes. He comes on. We don't really know what's going on. They're not telling us anything. There's 6 planes in front of us all of a sudden now. And we waited on the tarmac an hour 45, and, of course, it's international, so a lot of moving parts, and we missed our connecting flight to Dallas along with about 200 other people.
they were going to Dallas?
Dallas, Houston.
Just wherever.
Yeah, just wherever. Miami was just where everybody came, get their flight and go home. And boy, was it a shit show.
Let me tell
I felt like Home Alone.
Let me tell you on my end of that story. So, Andy and them land at midnight. Well, I had graciously volunteered to go pick them up at midnight. So, I could leave my house.
I think Tony's gotten fatter since I've been gone.
Did you hear that? No. He said, I think Tony's gotten fatter since I've been gone. That's rude.
Something in the water.
I think you look like you've thinned up a little bit. So, anyways, I'm going to leave my house. I told Michelle, I said, here's the deal. I can either leave at 6 when Jesse's vehicle's done. She had some work done on her vehicle. Or I can leave at 8 o'clock at night, 8:30. Regardless, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So I decided I'm going to leave at 6:15, pick Jesse's car up. I'm going to go to the casino for a couple hours, which is about 45 minutes from the airport, and go to the casino for a couple hours, and then I'll go pick them up. So I leave at 6:15, the same time that Andy and them are on the ground in Miami on the tarmac. So I'm thinking, well, we're good. They're in Miami. Everything will be fine. I looked. Your flight to Dallas was no delays. I said, okay, good. So I take off. I get to Wichita Falls, and Andy's still on the tarmac. I get to Nakona, which is 50 miles the other side of Wichita Falls. They're still on the tarmac. Now I'm starting to get concerned that they've got to check, because Andy texts me and he says, we've got to go through customs, get our luggage, go through customs, and check into our flight. And I thought, oh. 45 minutes later, I get to the casino. I walk in, and my phone rings from Andy, and he said, we're not going to be there till tomorrow. So then I stayed there for a couple hours, drove home so I could take Reese to a football game he had the next morning. And then as a family, we drove, and we picked Andy and Jesse up at the airport. And last night. Now, I want you to tell the story about you being a drug smuggler in the conch shell.
I wasn't a drug smuggler, but I was fucking worried that I was. We found a conch shell on the beach. And
whoa. You got to tell the whole story. You didn't find the conch shell on the beach.
What did we do then?
It wasn't just random. Tell the story about where it came from.
I don't know. We were inebriated, and one of our last nights there, we go to the beach with a couple other couples, and there's 2 conch shells sitting there right as we walk up. And my wife is like, "Oh my God, we've been looking for these, everywhere." So we put it under our little bungalow, and we dick around in the ocean a little bit, and then we go, time to go back, and I've got it in my bag, and we're about to leave, and a guy comes up. A guy that we'd been seeing all day walking the beach.
A poor guy working, peddling his wares.
Probably. And he says, "Hey, I see you got my shell." Not us. And he's like, yeah, you got one of my shells. I don't know what you're talking about. Must have been another couple. So we just walk off. And then put it in my bag, and everything's good, and then we get in the air, and I'm like, I wonder if that son of a bitch, if he puts his drugs in the conch shell, and then if we get through customs, and what am I gonna do if there's weed or cocaine or something in there? I'm gonna be fucked.
The best part was your excuse to me about what you was going to tell them.
What?
You were going to tell them that you just
I was going to tell them I found it on a conch shell, found it on the beach.
And you think they're just going to let you go?
They'll let me go. They're fine with it. Jeff, they know an innocent person whenever they see it. Luckily,
locked up abroad.
It's got a little cut in it on the top. So I looked in there. That's probably where luckily he probably sold all of his drugs. But yeah, there's a little slit in the top of it. And I looked in there, and there's no drugs in there. We got home. So that's what when we land in Miami and we finally get our bags, international, you've got to go through 2 check stations. They check your passport, and then they check your luggage. Those luggage people were not there. So I don't know if Border Patrol is a part of this vaccine thing that they're just backing out. It's there's nobody there. And let me tell you, knowing that I was not going to have Border Patrol going through my bag, because I was sweating it. I was like, fuck. What am I going to do? What if? Shit happens. This guy's been on the beach all day.
At least you would have been arrested in the United States of America.
That was all I could. That was the only positive I could find.
You get due process.
But I was sitting in the plane when this thought pops into my head, and I'm like, do I tell Jessie and worry her also? But I just carried the burden.
So you were going to take the fall.
I was going to take the fall. If there been drugs found in that conch shell, which would have been just pure happenstance, I would have taken the fall. I was prepared to go to prison. Shit happens.
Yeah, most of those locked up abroads are not casual problems. It's people that got fucking drug problems that are trying to make some bucks.
Do you think they would have let me go?
No.
Not at all?
Fuck no. Not if you'd had drugs on you.
Really?
No different than if you buy a used car. Now, I'm not saying that through the court system you may be able to get off. I'm not saying that wouldn't
You think
happen.
I'd have done hard time?
You might have.
Really?
You would have damn sure got booked in a hard spot.
Really?
Well, fuck yeah. Probably at a $250,000 bond.
Jeff, I think they would have bought my story.
So you're lying now about this?
Well, it's the truth. That's what I'm saying.
What is your experience with international travel and lying to people?
It's not very good. It's not very
You're
good.
banned from Canada for a year.
I was thinking, motherfucker, they're going to take my phone again and look through all that shit. I've been on the beach for a fucking week. I've got, there's pictures in there that nobody needs to see. They're going to go through that shit again. I just don't do well with internet. This is why I don't travel. This right here. I get myself in a sticky wicket. Fuck, here we go again.
Well,
but you really think they
they
would have locked me up initially, but I could have gotten out.
I don't know if you could have or not. If you could have got them to buy your story, a judge. I'm sure there's been other cases of something like that happen. The first thing they're going to ask you is why the fuck did you steal the damn conch shell in St.
It was
Lucia?
on the beach. What am I supposed to do? It's sitting there right on the beach, right as you walk down at our bungalow on a private resort. There they are. So it's not like we were off in another town. We were on the resort. There's nobody else on the beach but us, and there's 2 conch shells sitting right there. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Why didn't you take both of them?
The other people wanted the other one.
Did they get it?
I don't know. We left them. We left them with the conch shell.
What I'm asking though is, was it like where the water washed the conch shells up, or was it
a little bit?
A little bit.
You know, it was probably a little bit higher up. Jeff, I was drunk. I don't remember.
How much do you think they sold that thing for?
The conch shells?
Yeah.
I don't know. What does a conch shell go for?
A stolen conch shell, I guess, I don't know, $50 to $100 probably.
You think that much?
Yeah, I would guess.
Really? Is it conch shell? Is that the...
Conch, I think.
Conch?
I think so.
How much is a conch
How
shell
big
worth?
is it? Is it as big like the one Mom has at the house?
This, you can get one right here, $20.
Where at?
On Amazon.
Let me see it.
Michael Shores. Here, I'll put it on the big screen.
I mean, is it a real conch shell?
I don't know. Probably not. Doesn't have drugs in it, so that's not. It drives down the value.
Go on down to where it says large Bahama conch shells.
Where?
$40. And I would sue them.
Yeah, but
so
I was
probably $20, $30.
So let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
Seeing that if we hadn't have stolen it, and like we'd have just gotten it from a guy on the beach, and he did have drugs in it.
Why would he leave drugs in it?
To screw people,
sell
Jeff.
you.
To screw people.
So he's going to put $100 worth of cocaine in a conch shell to get you in trouble.
Maybe not cocaine. Like, what if it's just like a joint or something like that? That's like $4 or $5, but like not worth the headache.
Well, I don't know in Miami if that'd even be much of a deal. I don't know. I know that you would have got in trouble, but let's say that guy was selling cocaine and that's where he was hiding his cocaine at in case someone come up and then you stole cocaine. Not only now do you have a St. Lucia gang looking for your ass. Well, if you see some St. Lucians drive by your house and they look a little shady, I would, if I was you, I would not be out in the front yard.
There's no drugs in it. I've already checked it out.
Okay. Well, who knows? I don't know.
And it didn't just fall out in my bag.
I don't know what the story is.
I think
you would have got in trouble.
I think had he had drugs in it, he would have made a little bit more of a fight to get that shell back.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have got out of.
And why would he have just left 2 shells sitting there, unattended to? There's children. No, there's no children.
Well,
on the beach,
what happened was he knows you're a fucking liar. He was watching from way off, and he wants you to take it, and that's the whole ploy there.
I'm sure.
He probably had to go back home and tell his wife that they have nothing that someone took. You owe the guy money. You need to find out who it is and make it right.
Jeff, if there was $10 million sitting on that desk right now, and you asked me to give an accurate description of what this fellow looked like, I couldn't give it to you. There's no way.
Well, if you go to Sandals in St. Lucia and you see a guy peddling conch shells, please get his name and number, and Andy's going to send him some money for what he owes him.
I will not do that at all. Don't leave your merchandise unattended. It says that everywhere. It's just part of being an adult, Jeff.
They told you to.
Jeff, it's an unwritten rule.
Was thievery bad down there, you think?
Thievery? Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
Like Jamaica, it's fucking horrible.
I'm sure.
Jamaica is a beautiful place. If you took
the conch shell's probably not even real. He was probably gonna hustle me anyway.
So now they're making fake conch shells down there when they can get real ones.
They've got them right here. They probably order them in mass for like $10, and they're
selling them for $20 right there.
And then but if you can get a deal, and then they probably mark it up $40 or something like that. It's all a racket. I don't feel bad at all about it.
Well, of course you don't.
I'm just glad that there was.
Poor guy
I'm just glad that there was no drugs in it, because that would have been a hassle.
Well, I feel horrible for the poor guy.
I doubt you do.
Okay, let's talk about a few other things in the air right now. First of all, John Gruden. For those of you who don't pay attention to sports, and I know there are some of you, John Gruden had wrote an email in 2011, and he called is it DeMarcio? Is that DeMarcio? DeMarcio Smith, who's the president of the NFL Players Union. He said he had Michelin lips.
Yes.
Now, John Gruden has stated before that he always calls people who have talks all the time rubber lips.
Oh, really?
Yes. He says, I call them rubber lips all the time. If you talk a lot, that boy has got rubber lips.
Uh-huh. So that's his defense?
That's his defense.
I think he's grasping. I think he's trying to get out of some shit.
Now, I don't give two shits what he said. I think people are too fucking too fucking sensitive. And Randy Moss fucking crying and shit on the NFL Network yesterday.
Said it hurt him.
Bullshit. Fuck that. It didn't hurt him. It didn't upset him. I just don't understand that. There are racist people in this world. There is no doubt about it. And there's racism comes in every corner. Everybody's racist. Everybody has something that they're for or that they relate to. I don't care if you're Irish, black, Italian, Chinese, whatever it is. People are for their own kind. That's just human nature. But John Gruden has been coaching the NFL for years. He's never had a problem. Tirico, is it Mike Tirico that's on the Sunday Night Football? He come out last night and said, I've known that man forever, and me and him called games together, and he said, I've never seen him anything racist.
Right.
I read another article from a former player whose family vacations with him a lot and says he's not. So I don't think John Gruden's racist. Now, are they going to make a mountain out of a molehill? Yes, they are on this deal.
Here's my thinking. When everybody says fucked up stuff when they think they're in a private situation.
Yes, it wasn't something he wasn't meaning to be public. It was between him and his brother.
The rubber lips thing, I think that's a little bit of a cop-out. I don't think that they're going to buy that, but I do think that he's on his way out.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna resign, or I just think he's gonna gracefully just kind of go away. Now, I mean, like I said, I'm sure he emailed his brother. His brother was head coach of the football team at that time. And, he thought it was only going to be his brother that saw it.
Why is that even public? His email's even public. Are my emails public for everybody to look at if they want to?
Well,
or yours?
That organization is under investigation during that time.
But what does that have to do with my emails or your email? I don't understand why
I'm sure
they're having to divulge all emails. I don't
because they're under investigation.
From the New York Times?
Isn't that the one that's spearheading this investigation on the Washington football team?
Would you trust the New York Times or any fucking media to do anything like that?
Well, I mean, they found the email and he didn't deny it.
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying I don't understand how the New York Times is a source. The FBI is another fucking source I don't trust no more. I don't trust anything with the government anyways, so maybe I would trust the New York Times more than our government. They're both in the bed together, but I just don't understand why emails from 2011 are relevant of John Gruden's right now.
Because the Washington football team they're under investigation. So I'm sure every email that got sent during this period from when that guy, and I don't even know what they're under investigation for.
I think it had to do with some sexual stuff when the coaches were there, but I don't understand why.
What do you mean you don't understand why?
I don't understand why the New York Times gets these emails. Can me or you call up and get all the emails from the Washington Redskins in 2011?
It's just about who you know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why the New York Times is getting these emails. I think they're making a mountain out of a molehill. Do I think that they're probably going to make him resign? It wouldn't surprise me. That's the world we live in now. Nobody has the balls to stand up and say, hey, what he should have done is come out and said, yes, I did that. I probably shouldn't have done it. I apologize. Or I shouldn't say I probably shouldn't do it. He said I should not have referenced him as the Michelin Man or whatever it was.
Michelin Lips,
and just ended it at that, And it's a double standard that we live in. It's kind of like using the N-word, Anybody that gets offended by the N-word, that uses the N-word, is a hypocrite to me. If that is part of your daily vocabulary and then you get upset when someone says that word and you hear it, why are you upset? You say it 1,000 times a day.
Right. Or if you hear it in rap music or something.
Yeah, and you don't get mad at those people and you buy their records.
Right.
I just don't understand. I watched, there's a new series called First and Last on Netflix.
Is it better than the Leonard Skinner documentary that you
requested
Leonard Skinner
to everybody?
Documentary
is very good. Very, very good.
Even Ryan Barnes, and I'm sorry I did not respond to you, Ryan Barnes, but even he knows.
He knows what?
That CCR is better.
Well, that's two of you. Everybody else has agreed with me. Where's Ryan work at?
Ryan Barnes?
Yeah, where's he work at?
Split Reed.
Yeah. And who are Duncan and Nick?
The owners?
And who did they say was?
Jeff, they were in Canada. They don't even count. Like they got like half a vote
so
between
Canada,
the two of them. Yeah, it doesn't fucking no.
So now we're tied because they're half a vote and my vote is.
They're both a half because
so it's 2-2.
they're in Canada.
Okay.
Canadians listen, you're up in the wilderness.
Here we go.
You're not thinking straight.
We're going to piss off a whole fucking country now.
I'm just saying they've got the euphoria. They're shooting birds and they're cleaning and they're running. They're not in their right mind. Everybody knows CCR.
Does Harry look like a homeless Colonel Sanders right now?
First, Harry.
So
Tony's gotten fatter and Harry's gotten hairier.
And wider.
Harry has lost a lot of weight though. Poor.
The COVID kicked his ass.
Just whipped him.
So, anyways, get off of Leonard Skin. First and last. They got this white kid that gets arrested, and he's in jail with all black people, and he says the N-word 400 freaking times talking to these guys.
Really?
No, nobody got offended.
Because he was one of them.
And I guess it was the way he was and or whatever it is. But I'm thinking, dude, I can't believe nobody gets mad. And it was just... So it's such a double standard hypocrisy on that word. It really is. And
John Gruden didn't even say the N-word.
No, he said Michelin lips.
Michelin lips. But that's interesting, though, that he tried to say rubber lips, and that's his...
That's what someone said, that he refers to people who talk a lot, rubber lips, bumping their gums. Now, would that get you in trouble if you said that, bumping their gums all the time?
I don't think so.
Because that's a common deal.
Right.
I think racism is such a card now and a target on people. And the woke, I don't know who the woke is that targets all these people and cancel culture and shit. But I'm proud of Dave Chappelle. Did you see him?
No.
He's got a new series out on Netflix, and he makes fun of transgender people.
Oh,
and
really?
he says and I haven't watched it, but from what I understand, he said everyone in here come out of a woman's parts, either shot out between her fucking legs or come out of her stomach.
Right.
So there's two genders. There's men and there's women. That's it. You can sleep with whoever you want to, but that's it.
Right.
Well, now they want to cancel him because of that. And his exact words is fuck NBC and fuck Netflix. Or whoever it was that was wanting to cancel him.
Right. Because I think people are like threatening to quit and all that shit. I can't find what they did though in this.
In what?
In this Washington football team.
I think the cheerleaders
DEA
were
is
having
involved.
See, I understand why the DEA might be investigating them. I can understand why the FBI would. I don't understand how the New York Times is getting all this confidential shit.
Federal investigators, including DEA agents, have raided both the team's practice facility and Vermillion's Ashburn home. Coach Ron Rivera said the team is turning to interns to compensate for the absence of the top two trainers. But I don't know.
Who is this that said that?
It says,
Ron, no. That's what's going on right now. One of their trainers got caught for doing something with prescription drugs. That's why the DA is. That's not nothing to do with 2011. There's an ongoing investigation.
But it says he's been employed for 10 years. So I'm wondering if they went back to the start of his employment to see what he was doing.
Well, I don't know why John Gruden would be doing a pharmacist or a trainer.
I'm sure they just looked at every email. That's what I'm trying to say. Is I'm sure that guy's tenure. They went back.
This has just happened in the last 3 days.
Right.
No. This they didn't just in 3 days find emails from 2011.
I don't know.
Them fuckers, they can't find the guy in Washington that threatened to blow up the January 6th insurrection still.
My camera's a little wonky. Pull tight on my face. There we go. Somebody was going to blow something up?
Yeah, something that had a pipe bomb and all this shit, and they can't find that. That's important, but they can find anything else. Boy, I tell you what, the Joe Biden White House is going off the rails every day.
Yeah, it's not looking good for old Joe.
Obama's third term is horrible. God almighty. That's why we got fucking term limits, which we need to have everywhere. Did you see what Jesse Waters did with Nancy Pelosi?
He's investigated. So how's Jesse Waters getting all this information? If the New York Times is not supposed to be getting emails from the Washington football team, how's Jesse Waters launching this investigation into Nancy Pelosi?
She has to release all of her stock trades. It's a law.
Oh.
And so he just went back and followed the money.
So you and I can just go follow the money?
You can probably do it.
Why haven't we, Jeff?
Well, go knock yourself out.
Why haven't we?
Be a dickhead. Go do it.
You're all anti-Pelosi. Why haven't you looked into her finances?
Well, I know she's a crooked bitch.
I don't think it's that easy, Jeff.
You don't think what's that easy?
Just looking at her financial
You can
reports.
look up stock trades. They have to list anytime they buy or sell a stock.
Okay, but if everybody... So where the fuck is QAnon on this?
I'm not in Q, so I don't know.
I understand. But we got all these people...
Are you shocked by Nancy Pelosi being crooked?
Hold on. We've got all these people doing all these investigations up the wazoo, and we got all these conspiracies as to why flights aren't happening. But you're telling me that something is this easy that a reporter on Fox News can just type in Nancy Pelosi stock exchange numbers.
Why don't you look it up?
And it just pops up. Nobody's made us think about that. We got all these crazy fucking conspiracies that birds are fake, the earth is flat, but something this simple we miss.
No, I think nobody's missed it. They don't do nothing about it. The mainstream media don't give a fuck.
Why is QAnon not doing something? We've got all this crazy shit going on in the world, and there's something sitting right in front of you.
What? There's no law that she broke. She can do that.
Then what's Jesse Waters trying to prove if he's not going to find anything?
He did show. He's showing the fact that she's fucking
that she's got
crooked as fuck.
$34 million or whatever.
How much?
345. I'm sorry.
And showing how and why they vote this way. Let me give you an example. And quit getting your fucking voice all worked up,
Nancy
dickhead.
Pelosi stock tracker.
Yeah. I don't know if it's stock tracker or what, but they have to list anything they buy or sell.
Okay.
Congressmen do. Trade summary for the honorable. Boy, they got that fucking honorable by ass wrong.
Well, they're respectful.
So, anyways, she's pulled some punches on some shit down in American Samoa that they made some kind of, in 2009 or 11, it was on minimum wages, and she made sure that American Samoa didn't have to go by it, but everybody else did. And it's because her husband's a big stockholder at Del Monte, and they couldn't, it would cost them too much money if the Samoans made more money on pineapples or something.
Retail traders are mirroring investments by Nancy Pelosi's husband, whose stock picks have...
I mean, they just magically...
Paul Pelosi.
I feel sorry for that son of a bitch anyways.
Paul?
Yeah, if I could imagine married to that bitch.
Retail traders are watching what Nancy Pelosi is doing on the stock market to help them decide what to do next. Well, that's smart. So, but if Paul is the one that's doing the investing...
It's in both of their names.
Oh. So I didn't know if that followed July news that Paul made $5.3 million by exercising call options to buy 4,000 shares of Google parent
Alphabet. Just
What's
before
Alphabet?
the House, it's another company. Just before the House Judiciary Committee voted on antitrust regulations. I mean, when you know all the stuff, and they all do it. It ain't just Nancy Pelosi. It's every one of them fuckers up there. That's why they're rich. They all do the same shit.
Right.
But that you got to write that stuff down. It has to be done. But that's the kind of level of hypocrisy we have with our government. We have let these 600 assholes run our world and ruin our country, but they get by with anything all the time. And they just pass laws to protect them. Everybody's supposed to be vaccinated, right? But they don't have to be.
Right.
Why do they have to be if it's so great for everybody and their staffers?
I still don't understand why this hasn't been picked up before.
They have talked about this for years. They just now,
But
Jesse
if
Waters
it was
is showing how wealthy
simple-
she has become. It's been. They don't want to do nothing. The media is controlled by them same 600 people.
If it's this simple for the average Joe who says they're sick of it to find out this information, why is it taking this long?
It hasn't. It's been, they've known about this for years. It's insider trading. They do it all the time. But the media does not report all of it. They don't want, they want to bury all this
I'm
stuff.
not saying the media. It's so easy to spread out information now. But now Jesse Waters is taking it and we're running everywhere.
Well, yeah, because he's the only one that's wanted to do it. Because they're all get paid off.
She bought Google. Yeah, but some of that stuff.
When you know the government's fixing to give $1 billion contract to somebody.
Right. Do you think birds are real, Jeff?
Well, fuck, we're shooting fake ones then, I guess, all the time. So I guess they're not real. What do you?
Is it all birds or is it just certain birds?
I fucking have no idea. Our fucking media, we don't have a media. We just got another arm of the Democratic Party and the GOP out there because the rhinos are the same fucking way. This is what's killing them right now.
What?
The thing that's our biggest problem, which is the internet and shit, because they control all our shit, is the same fucking thing that's killing them, the deep state right now, because of things getting out that it's making people not believe the government more. Because if it wasn't for this right now, everything comes on ABC and CBS, we'd be controlled by.
Right.
There'd be no way to, because the newspapers, everything's owned by the media, or by the politicians. They control every bit of everything. Does that make me a conspiracy theorist? I don't know, but Alex Jones sure seems to be right 2 years down the road all the time.
Where does Alex Jones fit on the birds?
Well, I don't have a clue.
Are they really just
I don't even know nothing about birds aren't real.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Yes. They're saying that birds, they're all just government-issued drones.
Who says
all
this?
That they are.
As you always get on my ass all the time. Who says this?
Let me see. I don't know.
I mean, you were jumping my ass because of the insider trading that's gone on for years.
I'm not jumping your ass, but I don't understand who says birds are fake.
What do you not understand about the insider trading?
I don't You said it's public knowledge.
It is.
Okay.
You just looked it up and you could see it.
Well, I mean, I couldn't see every trade that she made at a time.
You can
how
actually.
much
There's
profit.
a graph that they have to release everything they do.
We've got people all over the country that are fed up, and they're saying that there's insider trading and blah 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 blah.
But there is insider trading.
Let me finish. And you're saying it's so simple, but nobody's ever looked into it. They've
looked into it. They don't do nothing about it. That's two different things.
So is it? But it's not illegal then.
No, it's not illegal. What they're doing is wrong. That's what he was showing is that how these people are getting rich off everything that happens in our world. We're letting these fucking 600 assholes get rich off of everything that we do. Everything. There's a reason why we have 250,000 cargo containers stuck out in the ocean right now. It's a real simple solution. Let me tell you how to fix it. You send the military to those shipping ports. They've all had to be vaccinated. And you start unloading shit and you start shipping it all across the country and get our country going. It's a real simple deal. And that's why they hate Donald Trump, because he was a simple man that fixed simple solutions. Do you not think that's a simple solution?
I think it's all simple.
So you agree with me on the shipping containers?
Well, yeah.
But and why can't we get anything in this country right now? Because of shipping containers. There's no shipping. We've got a military out there. We just pulled all them guys from Afghanistan. Let's start shipping containers all across the country and get people's supplies out.
That's not what your military's for.
What are they for?
Fighting bad guys.
What else?
Not for shipping containers.
Well, every time there's a big, if we have a huge typhoon, when New Orleans got wiped out, they send in the military to help. We send the military in to do all kinds of stuff. That's what they're for. It's not just to shoot other people. Protect and serve, the same as the police department and stuff guys are.
So should we send the Border Patrol to go get our
No, we should send the Border Patrol to fucking start shutting down the goddamn the border, what they need to be doing.
It says 12 million birds were purposefully wiped out using a virus formed on the internet 2 years ago. Oh. The birds aren't real movement. It's just a bunch of conspiracy theories.
Well, we know birds are real, Andy. We've got a shitload of them. I'm looking and they're mounted.
I don't know. Do we really know that?
Have you ever opened up a bird and seen it? So you think they had drones in the 1500s, 14, wherever?
No. It said up at the top, it started in 59? 59? Yeah, that's why they sit on power lines. They recharge their batteries that way.
Yeah, they didn't see them sitting on the power lines in the 1700s because there wasn't any fucking power lines.
Jeff, birds aren't real. You just didn't know. This is 2019.
Yeah, by Natasha Warnowski. She's a fucking idiot.
Well, I'm
okay.
telling you, it's
all right.
It's gaining steam.
Let's go back to the shipping containers and the soldiers since you got me in on this. You could get
between 59 and 71, they killed all these birds.
Okay. You can get our military to go to all the ports that they're having all these problems in, and in about 5 days, we would start moving cargo and getting things all across this country. There are businesses everywhere that can't sell something. I mean, how the hell could you imagine, like Tony's master cylinder on his truck, 3 weeks to get a master cylinder on a brand new pickup. Mm-hmm. Listen, if you work for,
that's why you don't get a Chevy though.
If you work for General Motors and you can get us a master cylinder, cash money, make you a hell of a deal. Just steal it from them. They won't fucking know, and bring it up here, and we'll pay you cash money, $1,000 for one right now. It's just nuts that you can't get shit in this country, and it's because they're doing it on purpose.
Right. Well, but are they doing it on purpose, or there's just nobody to unload them?
There's a plan to everything. I mean, that's why they don't like Trump. He fixed problems. And this ain't even a big-ass problem. It's a huge problem now, but it wouldn't be a big problem if someone had some common sense. You can't fly nowhere right now. I just had a guy book a hunt with me a minute ago, and he's stuck at the airport for a day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's for a little flight to just go anywhere. You can't go to Memphis, Tennessee from Dallas. Rent a car. And then you can't rent a car. Let me tell you, if we get to Boston and we get stranded up there and we got to drive home, we're going to rent a U-Haul.
Why?
Because you can rent U-Hauls.
Oh, you can't rent a car, though?
You can't hardly get a car nowhere, but you can rent a U-Haul. And then we're going to put Mom and Christy in the back of the U-Haul. I mean, Coach are going to drive home.
I wouldn't be taking a trip right now.
You just got back from a trip.
I got back on the front edge of this. We're like at the
This
peak,
has been
peak
going
of
on
the
for
wave.
a long time. Nah.
Been going on a long time, I'm sure.
They have. When we flew this summer 2 times, it was a problem both times. It was a shortage of everything. How long do we wait to get a damn rental car in Michigan? How long do we wait to get our luggage in Michigan? I mean, it's all the time now. And and when you pay people to sit at their ass and stay home, a lot of people don't want to work. And then you start making them get vaccines. They don't want to get vaccines.
But learn all the extra unemployment benefits. Aren't they gone now?
They're supposed to be.
Okay, then why are people sitting at home?
I don't know. I have no idea.
If the incentive has been taken away.
And then I was told this morning that in the new bill that they're passing this, or that they want to pass this $3.5 trillion Fuck America plan. That's what they call it, the Fuck America plan. They want to include free education for illegal immigrants, college education. So Joe, who's paid tax, let's say I want to go back to college. I want to go to law school now. I want to go to medical school, whatever the fuck I want to do. I got to pay for that shit. Mm-hmm. Pay taxes in this country my whole life. But if someone comes here from Ecuador, we're going to just let them go to school for free. That's bullshit.
Free community
college.
Fox business.
We're screwed because we don't have a community college here. But you can go online and do stuff.
Right.
But why are we worried about giving free education to everybody else? Let them stay home and go to school wherever they're from.
Well, they don't. They can't. That's what one of our guides said in St. Lucia. Like, they're supposed to be at home doing at-home learning, but
they're selling cocaine-filled fucking conch shells. What are they worried about college
for? There was
for?
no cocaine in that. Said these kids can't get iPads and computers and stuff.
That's not my problem in Knox City, Texas.
I understand, but you said they can just stay at home and do online. They don't have the infrastructure down there.
That's not my problem either. My
grandkids
can't sell conch shells either in Knox City, Texas.
I'm not saying it's anybody's problem. But
that's life.
That's why they can't do that at home.
You know what? That's life, though. We can't fucking take care of the world. We can't even take care of our own fucking country.
I'm not saying that we should. I'm telling you why.
But that's their problem. Everybody in the world thinks we owe them something, and we don't.
We don't owe you nada.
I mean, if you come from a foreign country, we give you jobs if you want to work. Mm-hmm. And you want to pay taxes, and you want to work through the program to become a legal citizen, I got no problem with that. But when you come over and we give you shit all the time, and let's face it, too, in the last 30 fucking years, look how fucked up Minneapolis is now with all these freaking immigrants that are there. Mm-hmm. It's a damn Muslim country in Minneapolis. Yeah. Minnie-hopeless. Perfect name for that place because that's fucking what it is. Minnie-hopeless.
Who calls it that?
My dad used to call it all the time.
Really?
Yeah, Dad was ahead of the curve.
Minnie-hopeless. I've never heard that. Heard Little Somalia.
Dad would have stroked out if he's alive today with all this bullshit going on.
He'd have beaten the cancer.
Yeah. He would have. He would have been heartbroken over this shit. It's a whole different country than the world he was raised in, and me, and even the world. I'm 53, and this ain't the same world that I grew up in. Not even close to it. I mean, people were proud of who they were. Nobody got butthurt over every fucking thing. I mean, name a good comedian that's out right now, a new one.
Oh, a new one?
Yeah. You can't make fun of shit no more.
Right. Dave Chappelle can. I'll have to watch that. When is that coming out?
It's on now. It's out now.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. His new one. I'm gonna have to. I got to watch it too.
Oh, good. I got
his
Netflix.
Last one was fucking funny as hell when he makes fun of Jussie Smollett. Mm-hmm. Oh, that was great.
Yeah. He's a funny fucker.
He is.
Backed by a family of late transgender.
Yeah. Oh, Bob Dorfman there, whatever his name was, it changed his name to Daphne. His family likes him. I mean, but he's a comedian. You used to be able to be a comedian and make fun of people and nobody get butthurt about shit all the time. I mean, I listened to Red Fox the other day in the truck. God almighty, he was a raunchy old fucker, but I mean, he talked about shit that was true. You can't make fun of real things anymore.
Chappelle. Oh.
But to think, I mean, what he said is right. If you're listening to this and you're transgender, which I very doubt very seriously you are, there are two genders. There are men and women. That is it. Don't give a shit who you sleep with, but you're a man or you're a woman. You can get tits sewed on. You can get your penis whacked off. But if you make sperm, you're a man. You can't have a baby. And like these places that are having these deals where you have they don't want to call it breastfeeding. What do they want to call it now? Like parent feeding or some shit?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Give me a fucking... How stupid can you be? What's stupid is the people that go along with this shit.
Chappelle's only 48. Huh. Chappelle is also being accused of defending what many perceive to be problematic comments by rapper DaBaby and J.K. Rowling.
What'd J.K. Rowling say?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what?
I've been on a beach, Jeff.
I've
had no worries, no problems, man.
J.K. Rowling is probably worth, I would guess, $500 million.
She's
probably.
richer than the Queen, I believe.
Dave Chappelle, Netflix, J.K. Rowling.
Oops.
Dave Chappelle, J.K. Rowling now.
Yeah, I want to see what she said.
Oh.
Criticized for... he defended J.K. Rowling. What did... Oh, I believe, and she made comments. I think she made a comment about the transgender stuff, and he defended her in this.
What'd she say about transgender? Same thing we say?
God damn, Jeff. I don't know.
Well, you're looking at shit.
Well, I mean, it doesn't say. I'll find it. Transphobic. Accused of transphobic after mocking people who menstruate. Maybe she said if you menstruate, you're a woman.
Well, she's true. So the term chicks with dicks that I use a lot, would that be considered rude?
People who menstruate. She tweeted it out. Woman.
What kind of world do we live in? There's a man and a woman. That's it. That's it. There's no other kind of gender. And these people, we keep giving into this shit. You know? If you want to wear a fucking dress, wear a dress. I don't give a shit. But you're still a man or you're a woman. You can't change to be something else. What do these people think they are?
Zer.
Huh?
I don't know.
Like that show All About Jazz. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
About the teenage boy that's being a girl or trying to. Anyways, it was on Discovery or something. It was like a train wreck, so I had to watch a little bit of it. And anyways, he was all upset because the boys at his school weren't open-minded and none of them wanted to date him or be his boyfriend. Yeah, because they're not gay.
I decided not to kill myself because I wanted to know how Harry Potter ended. One user wrote, for a long time, that was all that kept me alive.
You've got no fucking life then.
Until my husband, who helped me learn to love myself and want to live. You just insulted him to my face. I hate you.
Okay, well, why is that not? That's kind of a derogatory bitch right there. Can you imagine your whole life is on what's going to happen with Harry Potter?
There's a lot of people that way, Jeff.
That's fucking sad.
There's a lot of people that way.
I want to kill myself, but I want to wait. I want to wait for Harry Potter's new book to
really
come
want to
out.
know how this Harry Potter ends. You have power and influence. Why would you do this? What does it achieve? Do you feel like more of a woman when you punch down? Are you threatened? Some trans men menstruate.
No, they got bleeding hemorrhoids. That's not That's not fucking menstruating.
No, that would be a woman. That would be a trans man is a biological woman. So technically,
you're right. You're right.
Correct.
Yeah, no, it's not because it's a fucking woman still.
Why does that affect you? Why do you want to police that?
Mary Lambert's an idiot, whoever she is.
She's verified on Twitter.
She's a fucking verified idiot.
Ma'am, read the room and post about BLM. Anyway, that was last summer, so.
So I lived my whole life. The only thing that kept me alive was to see how Harry Potter.
Book.
Bitch is a slow reader because that Harry Potter shit ended a long time ago.
I know, but she's saying back in that time, that was all that kept her around. Her estimated net worth. Do you think she gives a shit about what the trolls on the internet are saying? $1.2 billion.
Well, good for her.
She doesn't give. You know she was homeless?
Yeah, that's good for her.
I think she had a kid living in the back of a car when she sold
She's like
Harry Potter.
Conor McGregor fucking was on welfare living off the British government.
Yeah.
Good for her, though.
Homeless. Rags to riches. She was homeless when she wrote Harry Potter. I think she might have had a kid also.
Well, I can tell you one thing. Great books. Good for her.
I've never read them.
The books are good. I've read every one of them books.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I didn't like the end of them. I liked the first ones better. I thought they were more magical for kids. I really enjoyed them. Now I got grandkids. I get to watch them again.
No, she was not homeless. I bet that was after she said what she said. Now they're trying to marginalize her achievement.
Well, of course they are, because she doesn't fit into their fucking propaganda.
I did not know that Chappelle thing was out already. I'll have to go.
Yeah, I need to watch that and find out what's going on.
Check it out. I wonder what, I don't know. Gender is a fact is what Dave Chappelle said. So, anyway.
Well, I look like the Kansas City Chiefs.
They're done. Stick a fork in them.
I like Patrick Mahomes. He's a class act, but
they look like shit.
He's going through the motions, but he looks like he did at Tech sometimes when they played good teams that were better than them. He'd have some phenomenal stats, but they just don't look good at all.
I wonder if, just everybody's so much better now.
Well, they're like everything else. It's a copycat league, and everybody finds out how to play against you. And when they do, you start getting beat.
Right.
I mean, Tampa Bay's not going to win the Super Bowl this year.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so at all. They had the perfect recipe last year. They had Tom Brady. They had two good receivers. They had a really good defense that played good. Their defense is not as good this year.
So here's their schedule. They got Washington next week. They should win that one.
Yeah, fucking you talk about a team with no fucking discipline or anything at all. I watched them give up a Hail Mary pass yesterday. Nobody even jumped up.
Right.
They're fucking stupid. Ron Rivera has done a horrible job there. I thought they were right on the brink of really going to be a pretty good team this year, and they
lost Fitzmagic. Then they're at Tennessee.
When you lose a 38-year-old quarterback or 52-year-old quarterback, and that's the whole thing, you're in trouble.
Then they're at Tennessee. They're
going to lose that game.
That'll be an L. The Giants, they better win. Green Bay
will beat them.
I don't know.
They will. Here's the thing: they're going to lose a game to Las Vegas. One game they'll lose to Las Vegas.
So right now they're at 2-3 the next 5 games.
2-3. So if they beat Washington, they're 3-3. They lose to Tennessee, they're 3-4. They beat the Giants, they're 4-4. They have a chance to lose to Green Bay, which will put them at 4-5. Let's say they beat Raiders this game. That's 5-5. I don't think they can beat Dallas. I don't. Dallas is really playing good on defense right now, which has surprised me. They're offense, and you know what? Dallas offensively has not been that good. They've got some points, but they're not going up and down the field like they were last year offensively. They've struggled more on offense. They're good, and people are going to be like, well, goddamn, what do you want them to do? They don't look as good offensively to me as they used to.
Right.
But on defense, they're playing lights out right now. So I think they're going to lose to Dallas. They're going to lose to Denver one game. I think they beat Denver already this year, so they're probably going to lose it, and they're going to lose the Raiders one game.
Then they got the Chargers in Pittsburgh.
And I think Kansas City is going to end up around 9-8, 10-7.
Whew, could you imagine going from Super Bowl
to not even the playoffs?
To I still think they make the playoffs.
Okay, let's look at let's talk about that for a second. You've got Buffalo's going to win their division.
Yes.
The NFC North should be Cleveland. Cleveland gave a game away yesterday. Should have won to San Diego, kind of like San Diego gave it to Dallas.
Right.
So Cleveland is probably going to win the NFC North. I think Schittsburg's done.
The West or the South, the AFC South is going to be the Titans.
The Titans will win it. I don't know how many playoff teams they take. They take 3 now.
3 wild cards, you mean?
Yes.
I think so.
So Baltimore, a team from the AFC West, which could be the Raiders, could be this Raiders deal with John Gruden might tear them apart.
Send 3 wild card teams, so 7 go.
Are they one of the top 7 of the 16 teams? Maybe. The extra wild card team might be their saving grace.
I still think they make the playoffs.
Well, so how many games do you think they win then? They say Mahomes has thrown more interceptions this year than he did last year already.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I can believe that. Let me go back to their schedule.
I think you just bought tickets now.
I don't want to buy tickets. They're not even worth watching on TV.
Oh, they're exciting to watch still. Just go down from that.
Okay, so what are they right? They're 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Okay, so they're going to win. So they'll be 3 and 3. I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 4. I'm going to give that to them. They're 5 and 4. 5 and 5. 5 and 6. 6 and 6. 7 and 6.
7 and 7.
7 and 7.
8 and 7. There's got to be some games somewhere we're missing.
Games.
Oh, they're playing Philadelphia this week. That's where we messed up at.
No, they've already played Philly. They beat them 42-30.
Okay, they played Buffalo.
And they lost.
Okay, Washington.
What did
we didn't do the Tennessee game.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, right now that they're 3 and 3. Then Tennessee's going to be 3 and 4. Okay, go down. Giants 4 and 4.
I'm giving that to them. So 5 and 4.
Then the Raiders is 5 and 5.
5 and 5. 5 and 6.
Okay.
Then they've got a bye. They're 5 and 6.
6 and 6. Let's say they beat
6
Denver.
and 6.
Let's say they win that one.
That's
7,
at home.
7 and 6.
7 and 6. They'll lose that one. 7 and 7.
Okay.
They win that one. 8 and 7.
They lose to Cincinnati.
At Cincinnati, that might be tough.
Okay, that's 8 and 8. So they beat Denver. They're 9 and 8.
9 and 8.
Is 9 and 8 going to get you in the playoffs in the AFC?
Yes, because I think you're heavy at the top in the AFC. Okay. In my opinion, you're heavy. You're heavier up at the top. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the
standings.
I'm gonna look up standings right now and look at teams that I think will be in the playoffs in the AFC. Okay, the Bills are going to be in.
Correct.
Baltimore. I would not be surprised if Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Cleveland all get in.
Who?
I really wouldn't be.
Right.
So that would be 2 of your wild cards. And then the Chargers are going to be in. Tennessee's going to be in. So that would leave the Raiders, Denver, Kansas City, and New England up for the wild card spot.
They're going to have to get some shit together.
Yeah, I just don't. They just do not look. They're just not very good. I mean.
He looked awful last night.
He did.
Like throwing it to people that weren't there.
Yep. The interception he threw was a fluke deal. It bounced off Tyreek into Buffalo's hand.
He looked terrible.
I picked before the season started. I took Buffalo and the Rams, and I'm sticking. I still think that's going to happen. But Arizona, who I made fun of you about, really look good because they're so good on defense.
Jeff, we all make mistakes. You don't have to dwell on it.
Well, they look really good, and yesterday they won when the offense didn't do good. Mm-hmm. So.
Poor Mason Crosby. If he didn't make that last one,
he would retire.
Whew. That was awful. 5 missed field goals.
He's easy to pick out on the sidelines.
Yeah, he looks like Harry.
He's
only 38 though.
And
so
your boy Aaron Rodgers does look like a homeless crackhead kind of.
He doesn't look good. Do you think Urban Meyer gets the boot after this year after trying to finger that girl's poor butthole?
You know, I listened to Tony Dungy. Man, I respect a lot. Another man that's on Gruden's side.
Right.
He said, he should apologize. It was wrong. He apologized about it. We need to move on. He's a good man.
Have you seen the video
of Urban Meyer
sticking his finger up her butt?
Yeah. Urban Meyer's a fucking snake. He always has been. He's a sorry, no good fucker.
Everywhere he's left, it's been
everywhere he goes.
Anarchy.
I mean, when he was at Utah, you can probably find up some shit he did there. Probably at Bowling Green. At Florida, he fucking let the convicts run the prison there. But he won, so nobody cared. At Ohio State, he did the same shit. I mean, he had that sex deal with that coach. And his coach was beating his wife and shit. He didn't give a fuck. That guy was recruiting for him, and he was doing a good job of recruiting. He's a piece of shit. I think his legacy is going to be about what ends up at Jacksonville, and he's done. I don't think anybody else would ever hire him. Now, your boys at Lubbock, that might be a good move for y'all.
Listen,
would you hire him?
Hell yeah! Lubbock? If you could take, I don't give a shit what you do on your personal time. if you can get a couple dubs and have us beat TCU, we'll take you. Listen, you're a long way. You're in the desert almost out there. Like nobody finds out about what's going on out there.
He's done. I don't know if he'll make the season.
Tony
Dungy said, I cannot believe. He said, I played 3 years in the NFL. I coached for 28 years in the NFL. I don't ever remember the coach being on a plane ride home. Ever.
Not being on a plane ride home?
Never. He said, when you get on a bus as a team, the head coach is at front seat.
Right.
When you get on an airplane, that coach is in the front of that plane. He says it's always that way. He said, I've never seen nothing like that. He goes, there's no excuse for that. I think he's done when the season's over. I would not be surprised.
USC.
No, I don't think nobody will hire him. I think he's done. I don't think he really wants to coach football much more anyways.
I feel bad for his wife.
I do too. What a horrible deal.
And
for
I feel
her.
bad. They said that lady is getting like death threats and stuff. She's been fired from her job.
Why'd they fire her?
Don't get me lying.
Ma'am, you need to apply at the Big Honker Lodge. We'll give you a round. Tony, you don't mind hiring some hot chick that let some guy finger her butthole, do you? Nope. Tony's good with it. I think Urban Meyer's done. I think he resigns after this year, is fired. I think that I don't even know what I was going to say. I know I was going to talk about Tech hiring a coach. I think Tech and them are in a lot better position than a lot of people. Not in a good position now, but I think with OU and Texas leaving the Big 12, I think it's better for all them other schools.
She has known Urban for months, so
her name. Whoa! Her name is Cayman, Nebraska.
Mm-hmm. That's what it says. But her mom said something, I guess, in an interview, but said like she's really, really worried about her daughter because like the messages that she's gotten, she's like stuck in her house now. I guess, quite worried.
Well, it sounds to me like maybe she's been sleeping with him.
Probably so. It would not shock me if you know.
Why? Okay, here's a guy that's got a ton of money. I don't know what he's worth, but I would say probably $25 million probably, which is 20 or 25 million more than Jeff Stanfield has. I don't understand how he can't be fucking smarter than that shit.
Right.
I don't get these guys that do this shit.
And I mean,
look at her images down there.
Yeah, she's good looking. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Well, if you got 25 million and you're cheating with someone, that should be who you'd be with.
Yeah, you don't want a buffalo.
Yeah, but do you not think that he would be a little smarter than that?
Yeah, and I mean, you're at an Ohio bar. You're a legend in Ohio. Everybody knows who you are.
I mean, anywhere you go, I don't give a fuck if you go to Henrietta, Texas, and you go somewhere, someone's gonna say, "Oh, that's fucking Urban Meyer."
Right.
Who's that trashy blonde he's with? That ain't his wife, I bet. No. And they're gonna take a video and a picture of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm telling you right now, the Dallas Cowboys in the early '90s would have never ever made it to a Super Bowl with today's media and shit. They'd have had pictures of Michael Irvin blowing cocaine off some chick's asshole, and that'd have been all she wrote for him.
Old Urban.
I mean, yeah. How do you not? Oh yeah, they've known each other for a while.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
Yep. I mean, how stupid can you be? Hey, weren't you that guy that's coaching the football game yesterday?
Yeah, didn't you just get beat by the the Bengals?
Yeah. No, I'm Uncle Rico. I mean, fuck, how stupid can you be?
Yeah, they've known each other for a while.
Her name is Cayman, Nebraska. What a fucking name. Actually, that is a cool name if that's really her real name.
It ain't her real name. She's an Ohio State alum, works for New Horizons Media. That's who Ryan ought to hook up with.
Cayman, Nebraska?
Cayman, Nebraska.
I thought he had a girlfriend.
Well, not named Cayman, Nebraska. I forgot. Yeah, he does have a girlfriend. He's way more faithful than Urban. Urban's been married for 32 years. He couldn't resist Cayman's charm.
Urban Meyer's a piece of shit.
Like, really?
Yeah.
You don't know him.
No, I'm telling you, everywhere he's gone, the shit he's done.
Yeah. You
don't think he knew Aaron Hernandez was a piece of shit? The only thing that saved that team was God and Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
He's had shit happen everywhere he's gone.
Oh, yeah. Everywhere he goes, it's a debacle.
There's a guy that has a whole lot bigger network than we do that says the same thing I've said about him, because I listened to him the other day on the radio, and he's a big-time guy, and he was talking about what a piece of shit Urban Meyer is. He said, because the guy says, "Are you surprised?" He said, "Hell no." He said, "Why would you be surprised? We're $35 million."
He's done well for himself.
So he's worth
football.
$17.5 million now because his wife's gonna be worth $17.5 million now.
He's gonna have to keep coaching.
Did you see the picture his wife had that same night up? Oh, it's sad. She says, Graham's, while Pawpaw is out working hard right now, Graham's is home with all the grandkids. Had a picture of all the grandkids at the house and shit.
Shelly.
Yeah.
Shelly Meyer. That's sad. So she said while poor Pawpaw's off working.
Yeah, you could probably look it up. It was on her Twitter.
I think she took everything down.
Well, I'm sure somebody
account.
screenshotted that son of a bitch. But what was Shelly Meyer doing while Urban was finger banging the girl's butthole?
Trying to. We don't know if there was ever. Anyway, I'm not gonna.
That's the one right there. We're extremely No, hold on, never mind.
Oh well.
Well, he apologized for dancing with her. He didn't say nothing about fingering her butthole, though. I mean, that's kind of, you need to be a little more vague about stuff there, Urban.
There's Cayman. He looks like a tool, also.
Yeah, he does.
Just,
he's a fucking asshole.
I guarantee you. Anyway. Poor Shelly.
I'm just glad.
I bet that was it.
I'm glad he's not at yeah, that's it right there.
Meanwhile, I'm babysitting. My choice, Mimi's rules. Buddy deserved a night out.
I guess I call him Buddy instead of Dickhead.
Oh. Yeah, well.
Could you imagine that if he was at Ohio State right now, they would the whole thing. Do you remember a couple of years ago when they suspended him the first game when they played like fucking Sisters of the Blind or something up there?
Mm-mm.
And he did the right thing and they suspended him for the first 2 games of the year or something.
Right.
And people in Ohio State were just taking up for him left and right.
Right.
Which they've got a hell of a football factory up there. And speaking of football, again, I would like to apologize to the whole state of Texas for the dipshit fucking coaches we have at the University of Texas. I'd like to say that right now.
What a good game it was.
Not for me, it wasn't. It was very disturbing.
Were you cursing?
I think I used the word MF, dumb fuck, 3, 4, 5,000 times probably in the end of the game.
He had the tackle. All he had to do was make a tackle.
Sarkisian is just like every other coach that comes to Texas. We need to drop football at the University of Texas. We are a douchebag liberal school. Get rid of football and take up synchronized swimming or some shit. Oh, it was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
It was a good game.
Then on my Facebook, I wrote up, I am now switching to Alabama. Roll Tide. And what did I do to them fuckers? I jinxed them.
Aggies took them down.
Not only did Texas lose, but then A&M beat. And I don't dislike A&M. I don't hate A&M. But it's the same story at Texas every year. We can't recruit anybody that can tackle.
Mm-mm.
And, it was a very disappointing that time. And the only thing that made it better for me was that Tech lost again. But I tried to explain to someone that at Texas, we at least feel like when the season starts, we have a chance to be really good every year. I don't know why y'all kid yourselves at Tech.
We do at Tech for about the first week and a
Well,
half.
as soon as y'all quit playing New Mexico State and UTEP, things get real for y'all.
Yeah.
Tech had improved until they dumbasses fired Mike Leach.
You can't lock a kid in the closet, Jeff. Not
Why?
you just can't do it.
Well,
anymore.
it's kids are soft.
You can't lock that kid in a closet.
Yeah, well,
you can probably lock another kid, but he had some connections.
And it's killed that whole program.
Yes, it has.
And then they got into this Kingsbury deal when he had Manziel, and they thought he was a great coach. And he's done a whole lot better in pro than he ever did in college as a coach.
He's
but
very good.
Tech now has a chance to hire them a new coach, and they should go hire Kendall Briles. They're going to fuck up and hire Sonny Dykes at SMU, and I do not think that's the answer. I think they should hire Kendall Briles.
We looked really good right there those first 3 games.
Yeah, y'all beat Stephen F. Austin
and Houston at Houston.
And Florida International.
And FIU.
Okay. And you actually played good at West Virginia, but they haven't won since they just barely beat Oklahoma or beat Oklahoma. Y'all have a chance to beat Kansas, so y'all will be bowl bound. Then you'll be thinking.
What about K-State?
No.
No.
You're not going to beat K-State. You're not going to beat Oklahoma. You're not going to beat Iowa State. You're not going to beat Oklahoma State, and you're not going to beat Baylor.
Jeff, we
y'all will not go to a bowl again this year, probably.
We ruin people's plans.
Y'all have done that many times. I will that.
So that OU's playing, and they're playing that in Norman. It ain't happening.
Oklahoma.
Now, if that OU game was in Lubbock, maybe.
If Oklahoma and Texas play again in the Big 12 championship game, which is probably going to happen, Texas might beat them because Texas can can play with them athlete to athlete. But Oklahoma is so much better coached. And they win. Winners win. Luke told me that. Winners win. They do. They win. And they've got a lot of talent. The albino quarterback, though, he's done.
Yeah. He lost a lot of money in that game the other day.
He better hope that they do a remake of Mask and he can get a job.
He lost a lot of money.
Was that the show with Cher and the kid?
Yeah, and, don't be tacky.
How's that tacky? That's what he looks like. If he wasn't playing football, you think he's pulling top 10 ass at Oklahoma?
Nobody knows if he's pulling top 10 ass at Oklahoma now.
Oh, he is. I promise you. Well, he was until this weekend. She may have got dumped him. What do you think he does? Because
what do you mean?
They can't start him again, I don't think.
Who do they play?
It don't matter. I don't think they can play him. The student section before the Texas game was hollering to get rid of him at West Virginia. They wanted the other kid to play.
Oh, they play Kansas. They'll play him.
Well, you think so?
Actually, I think they got the week off.
Okay, why would you put that other kid on the bench? I wouldn't.
No, TCU.
A solid team. I'm telling you, I don't think that
they'll play him.
I don't think he plays much anymore.
They'll play him.
If they don't play him and they start the other kid again. Well, I don't know how you can bench the other kid. Because here's what you're going to do. If you bench that other kid, he's going to go to the transfer portal when this year's out too. If you don't play him, he's going to leave.
Right.
And I don't blame him. And he'll be at quarterback at Alabama next year. Or Ohio State or somewhere.
Texas Tech would take him, I bet.
Andy, that kid don't want to do that.
Let's go, Brandon.
But if you start that kid, if you don't start that other kid, then he's going to leave. What happens to Spencer Rattler if you don't play him? What's he going to do? Is he going to just leave and say, I'm going to prepare for the NFL draft? Because I don't think he's going to be fucking drafted.
He went from being the first overall or first quarterback taken to maybe a free agent.
You know who he reminds me of is Cardell Jones, a kid at Ohio State that would have been in a top 5 pick, but he decided to go back to school, and then he didn't even start. And then he got drafted as a free agent the next year.
Spencer Rattler.
That's him.
I understand. Is he a senior?
No, he's only like a true junior, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean he's draft eligible, and he's an asshole. I showed some. I'm not going to mention who did it, but he's been on the podcast with us a couple times, and he's played football a little bit. He had on his Twitter or something the other day, he said "oof," and it showed Spencer Rattler being a real asshole while he was in high school, a senior on that Elite 11 show or whatever it was. And, talking down to people, and, karma's a bitch.
Yeah. Enjoy the pine.
And, that's funny. On that show, I watched it 2 or 3 seasons of it. They've had quarterbacks from all over the country. The only quarterback on that show that has made it to the next level has been Justin Fields. And he went to Georgia, and he wasn't going to start ahead of Jake Fromm, and he transferred to Ohio State during all that shit. And he's made it to the NFL, and he won his first game as a starter. I don't know how impressive he was. I didn't even pay much attention. Trey Lance is going to be the next Lamar Jackson.
You think so?
I think he had 80 yards rushing yesterday, I think.
Oh.
I don't think he threw for a lot, and he played a good team in Arizona. But that show, every one of those quarterbacks, none of them make it. And like you talked about earlier, the chance to go to the NFL is not your normal path like everybody thinks it is.
Right.
You don't go to college and be the number 1 player and boom, 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 boom. And so
it is if you're Matt Stafford.
But there's very few of them. Trevor Lawrence, same way. Trevor Lawrence has not been bad.
Right. Him ain't that good either. The fight of the decade, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. He knocked his ass smooth out.
I've watched him fight 3 times. He's knocked everybody out. He's a bad fucking dude.
That old gypsy. Whew.
I wish Mike Tyson in his prime. I wish they could have fought.
Wouldn't have happened. He's 6'9".
Well, so they wouldn't have fought, you think, in Mike Tyson's prime? Why? Who do you think was going to back out of that fight? Mike Tyson wasn't going to.
Mike Tyson will back out.
No, he would not have. First of all, Mike Tyson can't even spell fight. So he would have fought him. I think I think Mike Tyson would have got his ass whooped probably by him because he's just so much bigger than he is.
6'9". I mean, what's Mike? How tall is Mike Tyson?
5'10", maybe.
My size?
Maybe.
We're probably built. Me and Mike are built a lot alike. 5'10".
Y'all are built a lot like my ass. What's sad is Mike Tyson's net worth is $10 million.
Yeah.
How much fucking money did he make?
Yeah, that's sad. Tyson Fury is better than Ali, Tyson, and Lennox Lewis, his trainer claims.
Well, when I think of great fighters, I don't think of Lennox Lewis ever, but he was a good fighter. I don't know. I mean, you can't. It's kind of like comparing Joe Namath to Troy Aikman to Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady. You know, you never hear about anybody ever say, Joe Namath, he's as good as Tom Brady. But when Joe Namath was in his prime, he was considered the greatest quarterback playing at that time for a little bit. He was just beat up with knee injuries and shit. So I don't know how you can claim each one. I just know Mike Tyson's a bad motherfucker.
He was. I don't know. He got. We were reading something. He lost a fight, or somebody jumped him at a laundromat.
Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Probably got his ass whooped in prison.
No, he broke his hand. He got into a street fight, broke his hand, had to back out of a fight.
Who the hell jumps in a street fight with Mike Tyson?
It was a guy that Mike Tyson beat in a boxing match.
Oh.
Maybe, no, I watched that on the shitter. That's what I was doing.
This guy right here is a badass. There's no doubt about it. Now, I don't think there's as many good heavyweight fighters as there was back in the day. When Muhammad Ali was fighting, there was a lot of really good fighters.
Right.
When Mike Tyson was fighting, there wasn't as many good fighters. Hell, Mike Tyson had to fight George Foreman, who fought Muhammad Ali. That's how the lack of the good fighters, there just wasn't that many of them. Evander Holyfield, he moved up in weight to fight, but Mike Tyson was a bad dude. But I just don't think there's a lot of good fighters right now. Do you?
Here's my question: how is Mike Tyson going to beat him?
You mean in his prime?
Yes.
He whooped a lot of guys a lot bigger than he was.
Yeah, but I don't think. Let's look at Mike Tyson's fight record and see, because I don't know that he ever fought a guy that had Tyson Fury's skill set that was also 6'9". I don't know how Mike Tyson's going to get inside and do that body shot that he does.
I don't know that there's very many fighters ever been that 6'9" that fight like that guy does. That guy's a great fighter. I'm not taking nothing against him. I just don't. It's hard to compare eras because it's a different era now.
I understand.
And there's so many of the good fighters now are fucking MMA guys. Mm-hmm. They're not growing up to be boxers.
Let's just look at his championship fights. Evander Holyfield. Hold on.
All title fights, right? Or that's probably what you want.
That's YouTube. I don't want to look at that.
Yeah.
Never heard of him. David Jocko?
Well, fuck no. He was just 17 years old or something.
Let's see. Well, let me click on it. No.
Oh, these are all fights for the belt, though.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to see.
James Tillis was a Olympic boxer.
Okay, let's see how big James Tillis is. Was it IS?
Tillis, yes.
Yeah, here it is. 6'4".
That's a pretty good size guy.
Pretty big size kid. Defeated Mitch Green. Do any of these names?
I'm trying to wait. Marvis Frazier.
You've heard of him?
Yeah.
Let's see how big Marvis is.
He was Joe Frazier's son or nephew or something.
Oh, there it was. He's a martial artist now.
6'2". Okay.
So, I mean, we're still not
even close on that one.
Trevor
Burbick.
Okay. So, was that his last title fight? 1986, or did I do that backwards?
Continued 87. He's still just going.
They said
the motherfucker fought in August. He fought September, October. I mean, he fought once a month.
Yeah, because they were talking about Conor McGregor, and like the last 5 years or whatever, he's only had like 16 fights. Mm-hmm. They said that was like 1988 for Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he fought all the time.
He just fought all the time.
He'd whip your ass and going down the road. I think Terrell Biggs was a pretty good size guy too.
He should be, because that sounds like a big guy's name. Did you see how to spell it? Terrell Biggs? There it is. Let's see. 6'5".
See, he's a pretty good sized guy.
That's a big good. That's a big guy.
I mean, he's 5'10". He's still fighting a guy a lot bigger, but he whooped
Right.
everybody's ass. I mean, he whooped everybody's ass.
And maybe he would have. I don't know.
See, keep going down and see. I thought he fought Leon Spinks too.
1988. Larry Holmes.
Larry Holmes was a big man, but he was old when they fought, I think.
Oh.
And Michael Spinks. He fought Michael Spinks also. Look at Michael Spinks. 1 round, a minute 31.
Michael Spinks. 6'2" is all.
Yeah. Look at his old jaw. He looks like he's been drugged through a fucking car.
Who?
Michael Spinks. Look at a picture of him on the right there.
Oh. He fought Muhammad Ali. Is that Muhammad Ali?
Yeah. No, that's George Foreman.
No, that's not.
Or Larry Holmes.
That's Muhammad Ali.
That's not Muhammad Ali.
Is it not?
No.
No, that's not Muhammad Ali.
That's either Larry Holmes.
I think that's George.
That's Larry Holmes or George Foreman is who that is. I think that's Larry Holmes.
I think it says. Well, let me view the page. Probably gonna get a fucking virus this way. Nope. Whatever.
I think that's Larry Holmes. I'm pretty sure that's who that is.
Won't say.
Yeah, I bet you if you look it up, I bet it's Larry Holmes.
But anyway, I just don't see how.
It's on the right down here's another picture of him in the bottom right.
Yeah,
Holmes, see? Larry Holmes.
Yeah. I just don't see how Tyson gets inside on Fury.
Well, in about 30 years, they'll probably have a fight.
That's what's sad about that is like you'll just never know.
No, there's no. You can't compare eras. But I'm telling you, he was a bad,
I think you can
bad
in
dude.
football.
Why don't you just put on there tallest guy that Mike Tyson ever fought?
Okay.
That'd probably be the best way to do it.
Do you not agree that you can compare eras in football a lot
No.
easier?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
I think any team right now beats the teams back in the day.
Oh, I don't disagree
I think the
with you on that.
Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Tom Landry,
In the
Roger
70s,
Staubach Cowboys.
Yeah, not the 90s team, but the 70s team,
Yes.
yes. I think you're right. Well, just like the incredible catch that they always give Drew Pearson, the Hail Mary catch. It was a bad throw that he stopped and caught the ball, and the guy should have tackled him. It was a horrible defensive play. That's the tallest.
Buster Douglas. But I mean, if he's fighting a string bean,
Mitch Green, 6'5". 6'6". David Jaco, 6'6". Trell Big, 6'5". So he caught some guys like bigger. Look up the Hail Mary, the Roger Staubach Hail Mary. I want you to watch this. This is what's funny. I watched this the other day, and I thought, there is no way that's a Hail Mary pass.
It was the old.
That's the one they talk about all the time, about this great Hail Mary pass, and you tell me.
Video's not available. Yeah, he underthrew it.
Big time, but they always talk about that great the great Hail Mary pass. Well, it wasn't a great Hail Mary pass. It was a Staubach Hail Mary.
Here we go. Might turn it down a little bit.
Can people hear it on town?
Well, it's commercial. Why do they want to hear it?
Should we get double advertisement for this since we're giving them one on our deal too?
I don't have it on the screen.
Okay, here we go.
Wind and 28 degrees. That's not it.
No, it's fixing. That's Preston Pearson. He was good. Boy, he was a hell of a third down back. He'd been a fantasy monster nowadays.
Oh, these are just the highlights. Is this it right here?
I think so. No.
Nope.
Oh, go back to that. Oh, they didn't have replays back then either. It makes you wonder if the catch before was even a catch.
I mean, it was definitely a Hail Mary
Oh,
pass.
they don't even do the replay of it.
He gave it all he had to.
He did.
It was a great play.
Go back to play before that, though.
It's a great play.
Go back to one before that.
But I mean, definitely not the greatest catch.
Watch this catch right here now. There's no way I got 2 feet in on that.
No, but I think the force out rule was a part of it back then.
Oh, was it? It could have been.
Because I mean, really, it was just the 2 foot rule. I bet. Yeah, I bet they did the force out. That was Pearson right there too, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was a good receiver. I mean, it's kind of like Era's deal. They put him in the Hall of Fame. His numbers ain't nowhere close to Hall of Fame numbers, or everybody's going to be a Hall of Fame guy now.
Right.
It was just a different world back then.
But
that was the Cowboy team I grew to hate.
Right there?
That's when I grew up at the time, was watching the Cowboys, and I was a Redskin fan. There's some great, love Sunday football. Man, the St. Louis Cardinals and Terry Metcalf, that's the last time they were 5-0, is when Terry Metcalf was still back, and now his grandson is a stud and the receiver for Seattle. What's going to we've talked a lot more about football than I thought we were today. Seattle, Russell Wilson being out 4 to 8 weeks, that's going to cost them a chance in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're done. Poor guys. Bless their heart.
Every team goes through it.
Tyson, back to Tyson, he said that I guess after their first fight, he figured out how to beat Wilder.
He whips his ass again.
Just pressure him. Pressure.
Well,
He's a good guy.
I wish he'd fight that Paul kid.
Jake Paul. Jake Paul's done.
Oh, he's retiring now?
He's retiring.
What happened? Because he's finally going to have to fight somebody who's going to whip his ass?
I think he retired. I think. Oh, he's coming out of retirement one day after going into retirement.
You know, that's the sad world that boxing has become. It's guys like him's relevant.
Right.
Because if he fights a real fighter, he's going to get his ass whipped, I think.
100%. But they're making a lot of money doing what they're doing.
Well, I don't blame him at all. If he was my son, I'd say keep doing that shit.
Right.
I mean, he's making a lot of money doing that stuff, but I just that's a hard. It's just the state of boxing. I mean, MMA has killed boxing also.
Yeah.
There's not very many boxers that are coming up anymore. I don't think you don't hear about young kids boxing like they used to.
No, everybody does. I think technology and science showing the CTE in like every boxer has killed boxing more than MMA. Because I mean, you can do. What's this say? Did he call out Tyson? Oh, Tommy Fury. I'm sorry. Who's Tommy Fury?
So, Hillary Clinton now is talking about throwing her name in the ring for 2024. Will that bitch just go away?
Hillary?
I mean,
why would she?
Just because, well, Biden's not going to be running in 2024.
You don't think so?
No. I don't think Biden. If Biden's still breathing in 2024, I'm going to be surprised. I really am. I don't mean that rude. I don't care for the guy. I don't wish any ill will on anybody. But I don't. They can only keep propping him up so long. He's a walking skeleton now. He don't know what he's doing.
Right.
His wife should be arrested for what she's doing.
Propping him up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. All the stuff they have to get. He's got Alzheimer's. He'll never make it. He's made it longer than I thought he would, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, but Hillary Clinton is not the answer. They don't want her either. But as a school board member, do you find it ridiculous that some of these school boards and the shit that they want these kids to have to go through, that when they're just not using common sense?
I don't know what they're making them go through.
Well, all the critical race theory shit and all these school boards, if they don't want to teach something, then the FBI is going to go investigate them. And I just think that's ridiculous.
Right.
I think if you run for school board, you should be elected by the people in your community. True. And you should represent those people in the communities. And every community is different, because what they need in San Francisco, or what they think is good for their kids in San Francisco, doesn't apply to Knox City, Texas.
Right.
And it doesn't apply to what's happening in Austin, Texas. Now, Austin is more like San Francisco than it is Knox City. But when you elect that school board, those guys, they're supposed to represent you and your beliefs,
values. Yes.
And the FBI shouldn't have to come into each school to investigate. I think it's
that
wrong.
is not the FBI's job.
No, the FBI's job is, well, they don't do their job anymore. And what's bad is I feel sorry for the guys that are true FBI agents, because politics is ruining the credibility of them. But I think school board members should represent each community they're in, the same as I do with Congress. If you're elected as a congressman for Knox City, Texas, or you're elected for a congressman in Minot, North Dakota, you should vote on behalf of your constituents. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't vote as the National Democratic Party or the Republican Party.
Right.
And that's what's crazy about the whole thing. You can't tell me a Democrat in the Silicon Valley has the same values that a Democrat does in western Minnesota.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And and so now this school board shit, I think, is a bunch of bullshit.
Let's go, Brandon.
What do you think about all that?
I think it's good. Put some fucking heat on him.
Did you see where he come out against it?
Yeah.
Talk to Michigan.
81 million people voted for me.
Yeah.
Or I got 81 million votes, which
yeah,
I do not disagree with.
You did get 81 million votes from about 30 million people, probably.
Let's go, Brandon. That's fun.
I love that.
Fun time to be alive.
Well, it's horrible for our country. Still better than being dead, though. But things are bad. Waterfowl season, man, I tell you what, we ain't getting any fronts.
Yeah, we got a front coming.
Yeah, but we're not having any weather up north. I mean, if you look, we are going to get a little bit of weather. There's
73, low 48, 43, 40, 43.
I've got a ton of Vern Hecker just sent me a message. Specs are on their way. We've got specs here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go to
Great Bend's going to be in the 50s for a day. Minot is going to be in the 40s for 2 days. But then it warms back up.
61s, 37. I mean, Minot doesn't even have a freeze.
Right.
And that's crazy. To October 20th, still no freeze in Minot, North Dakota. That's just nuts.
Yeah, I don't know.
We start duck hunting here. Our first duck hunt is the 29th and 30th, and the 30th and 31st, whatever weekend is. You got a group each day. And we've got ducks that have showed up here. And we have ducks, but we're not getting any fronts really like we should. Start staging, but this is starting to look like the same weather patterns we had last year and the year before.
Grant, Blake and them they're going to get their first freeze in a couple of days, it looks like. 30, 28. Yeah, I don't.
It's just hard to get excited about the weather right now because we're not getting any.
Yeah, it's
luckily,
in the
we
90s.
got calendar birds. Yes, that's right. I can hear them mowing right now outside.
Yeah.
When did it snow last year? Around the 28th, 27th, 28th?
Yeah, it might have been the 20th.
No, it was the week of Halloween, but it was like early in Halloween. Like if Halloween was on Saturday, it was snowed like a Monday and Tuesday. We didn't go to school, so it would have been the 25th, 26th, 27th, somewhere around then. We had a snow.
Took a picture of it.
And we were out of school for 2 days.
27th.
The 27th, and we hadn't been cold until then. So maybe we'll be the same way this year, and we'll get that freak front.
Yeah, but fuck, it was. We never got anything after that.
No, that's right. We had a chance to go tornado chasing yesterday, and I'm glad I did not go. 9 confirmed tornadoes yesterday in Oklahoma.
Oh, I thought you said you were going to be glad because it was a dud.
I was glad I didn't go tornado chasing yesterday because it wasn't much. I'm glad that it was a real bad tornado nowhere that hurt anybody. It's kind of a weird deal. I want to see tornado when I go, but I don't want to see it hurt anybody or hitting. I want to see it out in the country somewhere.
Right.
But it was not a good chase day like everybody was predicting. So I was kind of glad about that. Go, Brandon, go. Boy, this is getting to be a national deal right now.
Somebody said that should be the number one song.
Would you, if you were at a sporting event and people started chatting that, would you chant along?
Let's go, Brandon?
Yeah.
Yes.
If we did it at our high school games and did it, knowing what it means, do you think it would be bad or good?
I don't think that there's anything, it doesn't say anything derogatory.
Yeah, I don't think there's no reason to make people not say it.
Now, Joe Biden?
I understand not saying that.
Right.
I mean, but now they can say it everywhere he goes and mean the same thing.
Let's go, Brandon. Oh. They are not saying let's go, Brandon.
There's going to be a lot more of that going on, too.
A plane pulled a let's go, Brandon banner. What a mess.
And nobody likes our president. Nobody trusts our government.
He got 81 million votes.
Yeah, I mean, nobody trusts the government. Nobody wants to do this shit. This vaccine deal they're doing on everybody. They just, we got some trying times. I'm going to tell you right now, this winter's going to be nuts. And I told everybody a long time ago, stock up on ammo. Well, now you're seeing the effects of that. Nobody can buy. I had somebody message me last night looking for shells. It's going to be the same with food and shit come February and March.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yep, you can't take away the supplies and expect everybody to survive. All right, let's get off of here. We've rattled about absolutely nothing for an hour and a half today. Tomorrow we have our Congressman Ronnie Jackson on. That'll be out later in the week, and then we'll have a public hunter for late in the week and a football picks. We did not get to do the football picks for this week other than the one game because Andy was out of town.
You can thank American Airlines for that.
Yes.
Wasn't my fault. I tried my damnedest to get back here to my fine people, and it just didn't happen. But I'd have gotten them all right anyway. So
Of course you would have.
Well, if you want to just update, you just want to scrap it or no? I was gonna say you could take the picks from our pool.
It don't matter. We'll just start next week with what we'll just continue on to next week.
Okay.
How'd you do last week in your survival? You won the survival. You won. You.
I'm moving on in the survivor, and I got 11 right in the pick'em. I think I got 11 right. I think I missed 3 or 4. 3 going into tonight.
I don't even know how I did last week. Let me see. I had 12 points.
I think I had 11.
Yeah, 11. So I beat you again last week.
Yep.
I think I'm second in that for the year.
I'm way behind.
All right, let's get off here.
All right, let's get off here. Bye, everybody. Go check out our sponsors. Check out Shin Gear Waiters, Pacific Calls, Dive Bomb Industries, Boss Shot Shells, Dirty Duck Coffee, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Duck Club Podcast, Gun Dog Outdoors, Goose Creek Retrievers, Bang Tail Whiskey, Eyesight Drones, and Stanfield Hunting Outfitters.